Good morning, happy Friday. Let me start by welcoming our guests and visiting Rotarians. I'll start at this table here. Katie's actually come as my guest. We collaborated at the bank through a piano collaboration. So Katie's currently a yoga teacher locally. Welcome. Visiting Rotarian. Very familiar face here.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Stan. And we got Mary back there. Welcome.
Morning, Mary.
We have a couple guests here.
I'm Lila. I'm the exchange delegate this year.
Welcome.
Yay, Lila! This is my dad, Ed, and my mom, Cheryl, over there.
I'm Amy. I'm from Wild Souls Ranch.
Welcome. We have our guest speaker, Lee. Welcome. I'll start with your update here.
Last weekend was homecoming day, so I went back to the parade, to the dance, and it was really cool. I mean, in France we don't really have this kind of events, so it's really cool to see like people involved in like building floats and doing the parade during the days. It's really cool. It was really fun. Otherwise, during Sunday, I just like walking in the car with some friends, then we went like just around the constellation. It was a very good day. No, not yet.
So I didn't quite build this into the presentation, but I wanted to recognize that our outbound student was here. I wasn't sure if you wanted to take a moment to share the experience so far and where you're going, if you know that yet. No. What the process has been like?
I don't know a lot of information yet, so I'm still filling out the application, and I'm working on choosing like my top 5 countries.
Awesome.
And
What are those?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to decide. So far, the application has been like time consuming, but definitely doable. So I just need to like get through the last bit of that.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to sharing some more progress as we progress through the process. So, thank you. Any update from the Rotary side?
This meeting was
Okay.
Good picture, though.
yeah.
So yesterday was a lot of fun. Rebecca put some pictures up for the cross-country kids run. So crazy, so many kids out there. It was a record. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, we had 480 runners, which is over 100 more than we had last year. And
That's 1,000 parents.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, thanks for the folks who came. Not everyone's pictured in the picture. Carol helped me with parking, and she was way out, and Craig had his usual spot helping guide kids. So thanks to Amanda for getting the HSU cross-country team. They were a huge help personing the course to keep them on track. Yeah, it's really grown into a pretty big event. So yeah, thanks.
Thanks to all who did come and help. Definitely an amazing turnout. It was a lot of fun. Putting medals on kids, they were so excited after being announced 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place. They just much of this one.
You can't get better exposure from Rotary than that great big wheel
Yeah.
prominent display right behind the podium.
Thank you, Scott, for setting that up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing it. Nice work, Scott. It was in rough shape.
And thank you to Rebecca for making this all possible.
Oh, yeah.
And Mary. And Mary.
The previous weekend was a lot of fun. We made a lot of apple cider. Cam, thank you so much for hosting. It was huge. It was a beautiful day. So many apples. We ended up making what was the final number? 65 gallons of apple juice.
Yeah, but when does the cider come out?
I'm going to take a little video. Here's a little cider taste.
Doesn't get fresher than that.
Who was that? That's great. Wait, they're not slicing.
That's where all the worms came from.
Gravity feed bottling.
Oh yeah, that was the bottling station.
Yeah.
No, pour it into that so that it's settled, and then it sits so long, and then it grabs that. So that it's a
Oh, they were slicing.
Thanks to all.
Did anyone happen to bring and leave this is a Henkel knife, J.A. Henkel knife. It's nice, and it was left there. So if anybody has lost their knife, I have it. No, especially in its nice packaging.
You want to go back to the video?
We have some upcoming events. Pints for Polio is next week, Thursday on the 24th. There's a collaboration between all the clubs in Humboldt County. So the three of us up here in the north side are meeting up at the Six River Brewery, and pretty much all day, 11:30 to 11:30. You can stop by.
Pace yourself.
Each pint,
raise $100.
they're donating 25% of the proceeds.
Right, it's 25%, and they're splitting it 3 ways. They're gonna write checks to each club individually. We're also doing a raffle, actually a silent auction. And so I'm looking for volunteers who, we need maybe one person from the club there from like 5 to 8. It could be different people, just to sell tickets and represent our club. So is anyone planning to go, to be there between 5? For the silent auction, yeah, and just represent our club so that you can talk about our club. So we're talking about Rotary, they don't recruit away all the great people who should join our club instead. So it's, but primarily from 5 to 8 is when we're really focusing on being there and doing the silent auction. Is there anyone that can be there at all to do that? Nobody? All right, great, okay, thank you.
Gonna do a little video to share.
This is a story of historic progress, a story that doesn't exist without you. Our unifying effort in 3 decades of action demonstrates our commitment and endurance. And our progress thus far shows that a polio-free world is achievable. Individuals, clubs, partners, and governments share a collective vision to improve the health of every single child. We've eliminated polio in some of the most difficult places, overcoming obstacles and navigating complex issues. Our successes prove that polio will be eradicated, and while ending a global disease is not easy, as Rotary, we don't give up. We'll continue our fight until each child is protected. This isn't possible without you. So stay involved, keep pushing forward, engage your clubs and communities. Start a social media conversation and increase visibility on the importance of this global effort. Hold events and fundraisers on World Polio Day and throughout the year. Advocate to governments about the importance of supporting polio eradication. Make a contribution and invest in one of the largest health initiatives ever. Be a character in our story. Be the solution to our challenge. It's because of each and every one of you that we will improve our future by making polio a disease of the past. Eradication is possible, so let's keep our promise.
Thank you, Kathy has shared some sobering stats her last, when she was here last, how year over year, this year has just been devastating for the cause. There's been a lot of cases this last year, so support is definitely appreciated. Nancy sent out an email last night, and I'm seeing an expected guest, but Diwali is on October 27th. There's a Rotaract member, Aish, who is selling tickets to this event. It's at the Septentrino tasting room here in Arcata, and just to celebrate different cultural event. I think Nancy named it circle, or friendship circle, or a way to expose us to different cultures and people around the world. So with Rotary connecting all of us, it's just a way to offer us an insight into how other people celebrate their lives. So just wanted to throw that out there, see if she can make it next meeting. She is selling tickets for $40. Get you 2 drinks, and then she's going to have Indian hors d'oeuvres, so it should be a lot of fun and a tasty event. Feel free to let me know if you'd like tickets, and then I can pass it on to her, and then next time I'll have or in an email, I'll get out a website, that way I can go and order through her tickets process.
They have a Facebook event.
Okay.
I'm sorry, where is it?
Septentrino, Septentrio. It's right next to that Safeway shopping center.
Oh.
It's on six.
It's out of range.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Nancy Dean?
Nancy Dean, yeah. And then the end of this month, 8th annual Spirits and Spirits. We have that 9 o'clock slot. I've got my tickets already. Everybody else get going? Yes? It's going to be a lot of
Make
fun.
sure there's still tickets.
fun
Last I
history.
checked, there's still tickets on that
Okay.
side. And when they came last week, they said that if you go on brown paper tickets, it adds, I think, $3 and something for the fee to get the ticket. If you know that you're going to go, I can write to either Metzendejas or Marina and have them set aside tickets for you. But they need to know in advance so that they don't sell those slots on brown paper tickets. So if you're going to go with us on that 9 o'clock tour, send me an email and then I'll add that number to what I communicate to Marina and Matt.
Thank you.
Do you know how many people go on each tour?
It's like 25 on a tour. And I know already there must be more than 10 of us, so let me know soon.
And then Foundation Dinner, October 26th. Saturday from 5 to 9. Tickets are $45. I'm also going. Anybody else going? Yay! Great representation. Should be Last year was huge for the foundation.
Last year was huge. We're going to get a lot of recognition at this dinner, and I hope that a lot of us can be there and say, yeah, yes, we did it, and then talk to people about how we did it. Dick was going to stand up.
I said, we're going to get a lot of recognition at this dinner, and I'm glad a lot of us will be there to talk about how we did it and what we did, and just to all take a bow, because we worked hard last year, and we're working hard this year, but it's nice to, personally, I like to show up the southern district as much as possible, and we really did.
Thank you, Jared. And right around the corner, we have Taste of the Holidays. Lisa, would you like?
So, Taste of the Holidays, so we're on a good start. We're less than a month, not less than a month, but just a little bit over a month away. And my committee members have been doing a great job. And some of them are actually asking for help, like Melinda would like help with PR, if there's anyone that is good at doing that and would like to assist her. We have our meetings on Tuesdays at Griffin, and so the next one is this next Tuesday, so if anybody's interested in coming to see if they want to participate. We'll also have the Sign Up Genius, which Howard has just sent that out. Rachel just got the tickets, so she's got her whole box of tickets right in front of her. And I have my tickets right here, and I actually want to purchase them right now. And so, Chris, can we buy
You're buying 20, right?
Jessica, could you buy mine, please?
You know what's nice about this? You get this obligation over with, it's done, that they're yours, and I buy it until my anniversary any day.
So if anybody else wants to buy their tickets, Nick has the square.
Yeah, put mine on there.
Get it done right now. That would be fantastic.
Right now.
But remember, you've got just a little bit over a month to sell them. So let's try to get them all sold. I made 650 tickets, and that's what I had printed. And as I said, Rachel's got them all. Are you going to stay after to hand them out, or what's the plan?
And everyone that's here, right here.
Okay. Okay, good.
Okay,
I'll
find you.
Yeah, and we've got, the next thing to go out is going to be about the raffle. We're doing a Dutch raffle, and how many baskets we're going to need and that type of thing. I've also been getting a lot of the vendor applications back, and it's just going to be a wonderful event. We're also going to do Toys for Tots again. If anybody got tickets at the Apple Pressing, those did not have the stickers for Toys for Tots on them, so I do have extra tickets if you need to apply them, okay? That was sort of a last thing that I need to correct for next year. So
10 tickets per on.
I'm sorry?
10 tickets per
person, yes, yes. So, does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, Sign Up Genius is going to go out in a week or 2 weeks, Howard, do you think?
Within a week.
Okay, thank you.
I will get that email out for your raffle teams. I do want to try to, some of the feedback from previous years is create a theme to build around so that we could get some raffle prizes that have a little more oomph behind them. So look out for that email this weekend, and then start collaborating with your team to come up with a nice prize for it. Katie, I'll invite you up to talk about black and white ocean.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for having me back again. I came in July with Jesse, who's president of Surfrider, and we didn't know some details of the event, but now I came back today with some details. So, I don't know if you guys know, but AJ is a pillar of our community because he bought a beautiful baby grand piano and he put it in the lobby of Umpqua Bank in Arcata. And I'm a piano teacher, and in June, I have my students give recital there. And they love it. It's just a fabulous place for them. So thank you, AJ. AJ
told me, he's like, I was like, so are you inviting Rotary to the piano things? He's like, well, they don't know. And so I just thought I would toot his horn because he's great and generous. And thank you. And I actually didn't know AJ before I asked him if he would buy me a piano. So the day I met him, he bought me a piano, which was really nice. Very amazing. So after I had played there a few times, I started talking to my friends at Surfrider, and they have a monthly event, Ocean Nights, if you guys have ever been, where they show movies at Arcade Theater Lounge, surf movies, and it's just like a casual night for everybody to get together and socialize outside of the water. And I was talking to some of my friends, and I was like, well, we should do this benefit around the holidays where we bring the piano, and I play piano, and then we have images of the ocean, black and white images, and they were like, great idea. And so I said, hey, AJ, can we use your piano for that? And he was like, sure. So we just wheel it across the street. And it's tuned, and then we put on the event, and then we move the piano the next day back to the bank. And it's just...
They roll across the street.
Yeah, we put it on a dolly. I don't know if you guys have ever moved a baby grand piano before. But you turn it on its side, you take the legs off. And, it's the hardest part is getting it up the steps onto the stage because they're pretty steep. But that's why we have surfers do that part. I just show up for the playing. But I would love to invite everyone to come this year to support Surfrider. And it's going to be December 6th, the first Friday of December. And tickets are $10, and that includes 2 raffle tickets. And we also have a silent auction. And Matt Beard's going to be on stage with me doing a live painting. So you're all invited. Thank you for your time. Thank you, AJ.
Absolutely. Thank you. Introducing our guest this morning.
Looks like Gretchen is just one of our speakers is here, that Lee is here. And we're going to talk about the canopy project at the Sequoia Park Zoo. It's really exciting. Lee has been around Humboldt for a long time, and I'm just going to put some highlights. She and her husband and her daughter live in Manila, and they've been in Humboldt County since 1991. Lee became involved with the Sequoia Zoo Foundation. She helped establish it in 2004, and that's why she's so involved with this project. And I'm going to have Lee come on up and talk about it too. So I'm a little lost about Gretchen this morning. So she really is my partner in crime. And what's amazing about Gretchen is she's going to be celebrating her 25th year with the Sequoia Park Zoo next year, 2020. And her breadth of knowledge, she's a zoo person. It's been her passion in her life. And you should bring her back and have her just talk about the evolution of zoos themselves because it's pretty amazing, her knowledge. And zoos have changed a lot in the last 40 years, as probably many of you know. Are there zoo lovers in here? Because I know there are people who don't like zoos, but I hope there's a lot of zoo lovers in here. Yeah, and who's been to our zoo? Everybody's been, oh good. If you haven't, you need to come to our zoo because it's really a really special place. And I'm going to talk about some of the projects that we're doing that are going to actually, I think, transform not only our zoo, but really transform our community in a lot of ways. So if you have questions, feel free to stop me. I'm going to do my best to go through some of these slides Gretchen talks about, so I'm going to try to be Gretchen a little bit. But my name is Lee Otker. I did help establish the Zoo Foundation back in 2004. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be the executive director of the Sequoia Park Zoo Foundation, but here I am, 10 months later, 10 months into this position. And it's been quite an amazing experience, especially to be brought in at this time where we're doing some really big projects. So they hired me and said, now you need to do a capital campaign. Great, sounds fantastic. but I can do it. So let's talk about the zoo here. Okay, so we are, if you didn't know, we are the oldest zoo in California, 1907. I often talk to community members who remember when the zoo actually had big animals in cages. The zoo was free for a very, very, very long time, as many of you know. So we have quite the history. Gretchen always says she's always looking for folks who have old photographs. We're always looking for more of that kind of stuff. So if you have friends or family who've lived here for a very long time and have those, we'd love to see them or have prints of those. But as you can see, we've changed quite a bit since 1907. In 1995, we received our accreditation through the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. That accreditation is incredibly important. That tells the rest of the world that what we do meets quality and standards for all zoos across the country. I just attended my first conference in New Orleans of the AZA, and while we're considered a very small zoo, there's very large zoos there, what we're doing and what the world of AZA is doing is to really preserve and talk about conservation. It's pretty inspiring stuff, and that's a big part, it is the part of our mission. And in case you didn't know, the Sequoia Park Zoo Foundation is a nonprofit, and we have a public-private partnership with the City of Eureka. City of Eureka actually, this is their facility, and so what we do on behalf of the city is we do all the fundraising and marketing. And it's been that way since, well, before us in 2004 there was a society, and we moved into things being a little more fundamentally, basically we just try to market and fundraise for projects on behalf of the City of Eureka. So this is our mission. We inspire conservation of the natural world by instilling wonder, respect, and passion for wildlife. Gretchen will often say why she loves this picture so much is because she feels like every generation that can experience our zoo and see animals up this close inspires kids to think about how they sit in the world and how close they are and how everything is connected. And that's really a big part of why she loves what she does. And this is a fantastic picture. Our red pandas are very popular. I'm sure everybody's familiar with our red pandas. They're very sleepy. They're not super active, so if you come to the zoo, but they're really, really beautiful. We are the only zoological facility in Northwest California. Gretchen will tell you that there's a wildlife safari park that's down in Santa Rosa, but in terms of accredited institutions, zoological facilities, we're one of the few in Northwest California. And we do average about 90,000 visits annually. When we opened up Watershed Heroes, which I'll show you a picture of that in a minute, I think we had the most outstanding attendance we had was well over 120,000. So that was very popular. Those are our otters. Our otters are amazing. I can tell you that every day, if you're familiar with the zoo, you'll see in the Watershed Heroes that we have the pump and the water cart. And where it sits in the zoo often gets most of the sun. And that's where our moms are almost every day. And the kids love that water feature. It's incredibly popular. Even when it's freezing cold, they're in it. Mom's like, don't go in it. They're not listening. They're in it. So as a mom of now an 18-year-old, I can totally understand. It's an amazing, amazing thing. So yeah, our Watershed Heroes exhibit featuring our otters and our aviary is an award-winning exhibit. As many of you probably have seen, these are our three brothers. They came from the Oakland Zoo. They're quite magical creatures. It's a really, really beautiful exhibit. Gretchen's incredibly proud of it. You can see if you've been there, we have an otter tube, and so kids can go into the tube. I was just showing some friends of mine who were visiting. All the brothers were on top of the tube, and there were kids inside the tube. That's a magical thing to watch kids feel like they're that close. So it's really an incredible exhibit. And Gretchen will tell you one of the best she's seen, even though she's a little biased, but I agree. And this is a City of Eureka staffer who was inside the tube. She was like, about that. It's a former finance director for the City of Eureka. Anyway, when we do brew, who's been to brew at the zoo? Anybody been to brew at the zoo? So it's interesting to see young, sort of drunk young adults get in there. Whatever gets them in the door, I'm fine with. So anyway, yeah, it's a great exhibit. I don't know if any of you know, but we have an amazing education program. Incredible. We have an incredible staff. We have a nature exchange, we have a family nature club, we have a Stories and Stuffies program, we have summer camps. We sponsor an after-school program at the zoo. I don't know if any of you know that, but it's a wonderful program. We just do amazing stuff. We have an incredible partnership with Washington Elementary School, so there are K through 5 kids come to our school in different ways. I was thinking, I wish I had known that, because I would have sent my daughter to Washington so she could have that amazing experience going over to the zoo, walking across the street every day. It's really, really incredible what we're doing on the education side of the house. And certainly when we get the rubber canopy walk in, it's going to be a huge part of our education interpretation program. So I love our education staff. They're really amazing people, and they absolutely love what they do. So this is, we just actually finished this in partnership with Greenway Partners. This is a view of our new master plan. And some of the things already exist on this map, and some of these things are new. So that's what we kind of call it our future. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But you can see, I'm trying to picture or something. But you can see up towards the top, that will be the mapping of the rubber canopy walk. And it will extend into Sequoia Park. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. So this is one of our renderings. This is going to be what we feel like is going to be the highest point in the park on the river canopy walk. The highest point will be 100 feet high. It's about 1,100 linear feet. Most of it will be ADA accessible, but we do have a couple what we call adventure portions. So that will be part of it. The adventure portion will be a catenary style kind of bridge, so it'll be a little more movement to it. Which is great, I guess, for some people. That's great. And I will talk about, I'm sure some of you have heard that the Trees of Mystery is building a redwood canopy trail. Completely different than what we're doing. And we still really boast about the uniqueness of this project in that it sits in a zoo. It is ADA accessible, it'll be a lot longer. And as I'll talk about, these are one of the many platforms we'll have on this. This holds quite a few people. We're doing a lot of interpretation and education on these platforms. But that's an example of what one of them will actually look like. And why I talk about the uniqueness of the canopy walk is because as part of this project, the foundation is going to be raising money to put in the first part of our native predator zone, which is our bear coyote exhibit. So it will be adjacent to the canopy walk and part of our interpretation. We're really, really excited to get this funded as part of the canopy walk experience. One thing I'm going to show you here that we're starting to work on as well is on this edge right here, as you can see, we're actually thinking about building an interpretive center. In the interpretive center, we're starting to work on the concept of that right now. We have a lot of enthusiasm from a local donor who wants to help us figure out that part. We're going to talk about the history of not only the coast redwoods and ecology, but we're going to talk about the history of our timber industry and what that has meant to our community and region. So we're thinking this interpretive center, and we're also going to talk about Native peoples as part of that interpretive center experience. So that will be adjacent to all of this, and we're really selling it as one vision for this project.
We're going to have bears and coyotes, is that what?
Yeah, they can, yeah, and they'll have
Maggie.
What's that?
No, I mean, it looks like they should be able to get out of that.
No, they can't. So,
I moved away from there.
the way the exhibit's going to work is that there'll be like a barrier in between, so that because it'll be part of the natural area of the park that'll come out. If anybody's been to the zoo, that we have a nature play area. Is anybody familiar with the nature play areas towards the back? That's where all of that's going to move into the park. So we're going to push out part of the zoo into the Sequoia Park to accommodate this. But no, they can't get out.
So now I'm sad.
We want the coyote. This is a view from, the launch deck part of the canopy. As you come up onto the actual canopy walk, the way we've engineered it, in order for us to get up high enough, there's quite a bit of what we're calling launch deck up into the canopy walk itself. So this is part of what that will look like. You'll be able to go down into the bear coyote exhibit as part of that. We're also hoping to build a boardwalk in between the two exhibits. And then this is the other part of our native predator zone will be a mountain lion exhibit. We're not quite ready to get there, but I know Gretchen loves this rendering because it's really amazing what we're talking about doing with this part of the mountain lion exhibit. I love these kids in the front. They look so excited. And again, I'm sure all of you are familiar with Greenway Partners. They're our project manager. They're amazing folks. They're doing amazing stuff for us. Kirk and his team are fantastic. And then these are the other native predators we'll have as part of our native predator zone as soon as we get things up and running. Questions about the rubber canopy walk from folks, since I'm going to move into this.
What's the timing looking like right now?
Yeah, great question. We are now looking at starting to break ground the first part of December.
This year?
Yes, this year, yeah. And there'll be initial engineering and the agreement will start to work. We have our partner who's actually completing the construction of this is a group called Synergo. This is what they do, they build this kind of stuff. So we've been working with them for the past year and a half to engineer this very complicated project. There's nothing like it. There'll be nothing like it on the West Coast. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, we're hoping December 1st now.
That's construction or design?
No, design is done.
Okay, so they're going to start building.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Is there any vision for doing night walks?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah. People are already asking about doing their weddings up there. So, yeah, definitely we want to do that. We want to do those kinds of things. I think that would be fantastic.
So the board has a lot of faith in you, huh?
What's that?
The board has a lot of faith that you're going to raise the money.
We have raised the money for the canopy. That's pretty much raised. So the next part of it is raising money for the Coyote and the Interpretive Center. We already have a lot of interest. I won't tell you who some of those major donors are. It's kind of a little bit of a secret, but yeah, we already have quite a bit of interest in helping get that support. So we'll get there. Other questions?
Parking is already pretty tight there. What are you going to do about parking?
Great question. I agree. I think it's going to be, the city has said that they feel like that area can handle it. I kind of disagree with that. I think we're going to see what happens. I think we may be forced to come up with solutions once we see the volume of traffic. I mean, I live in Manila. I drive to that part of Eureka, and I can't believe the amount of traffic.
Yeah, it's a popular area.
It's a very popular area. So I'm a little skeptical myself. I will just being honest. I think the neighborhood's going to be impacted, and we're going to have to figure out how to figure that out. Yeah, especially with tour buses and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, and people drive that really fast when they cut. Yeah, that's a great question. Other questions? Yeah.
Are you going to have any exhibits of the ecosystem up in the canopy? I know at HSU there's been a lot of research.
We're working with HSU folks, Steve Silla and others. They're a big part of our project. So interpretations be critical to us, and we're starting that process right now. We're hoping that with the building of this interpretive center, these are the things that we'll talk about. Yeah, the ecology of it is really important so that people understand. We're trying to not have folks up on the canopy looking at signage, because we don't want that to ruin the experience of being up there in this environment. So that's why the interpretive center is really critical. Great question. Any other questions?
Did you talk about the full length of what the walk would be?
Yeah, it's 1,090 linear feet. It's almost 1,100 linear feet. Other things that we're doing, we have a condor care center, and we're working in partnership with the Yurok tribe. We're building this right now. This will be an off exhibit. This won't be open to the public, but I don't know if any of you are aware, but condors are endangered, and the Yurok tribe's trying their best to bring them back into the wild. So we're really thrilled to be working with them. We just had our big Zutini Gala event and raised over $25,000 for a radiograph machine, which will help us x-ray animals. That's being the focus is the condors. So we're really excited to be able to do this project with them. It's part of our conservation message as well. Gretchen loves to talk about, we have a native plant initiative. This is really Gretchen's wheelhouse. It's not mine, but we're working at the zoo to make sure that things that exist on grounds are native plants. And she's very passionate about this project and showcasing that we're supporting local biodiversity. And if you want to know more about that, chat with Gretchen. Yeah.
I'm just going to add, Eureka Sequoia Garden Club has been helping Gretchen maintain the grounds. We're pulling weeds, and I think there's a weed pulling event.
We have an invasive, yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, there's an invasive weed pulling, so if you want to get out some anchor, this is the place to do it. Yeah, thanks, Karen. I'm going to talk, I love it. We have a conservation lecture series. When I started this position, I was lucky enough to see the whole series this past year. And we get a full house, up to 70 to 80 people in our flamingo room for this conservation lecture series. It's amazing. I'm always so inspired by these folks. So this is, if you want more information, you can, it should be up on our website. But these are upcoming lecture series topics. And again, it's a free event. We start at 6:30 with a reception, and we start the lecture at 7 o'clock. It's in our flamingo room, and I guarantee if you come to any of these, you'll be completely inspired. I'll point out that at the bottom, the Christine Damiani, we're working with the Oregon Zoo to save the silver spot butterfly. It's another one of our conservation programs. It is incredibly tedious and meticulous work that Christine does to make sure that we raise these butterflies. It's pretty incredible, and they are endangered. And then I want to also add that, as everyone knows, we do charge admission to the zoo. Admission will probably go up for the Canopy Walk as we try to create a great revenue generator for the zoo. But we try to make the zoo also accessible for all. So if anybody has an EBT card or benefit insurance card of any kind, they can get into the zoo for $2 and have up to 5 family members come in for $2. So any folks who work in our social service programs, we're trying to really get the word out that if you have any kind of benefit insurance card, CalFresh, and if you show that at the ticket booth with your ID, you're guaranteed in for $2 and up to 5 family members. We also have an Everyone Zoo program funded through St. Joe's. They've been incredibly generous. That gives us the ability to give out passes to social service agencies and nonprofits throughout the county to get their clients into the zoo for visits for free. So we're trying to make the zoo a super accessible place for everybody. And these are upcoming events. The last big event of the year is Boo at the Zoo. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. We get a lot of folks in the zoo that day. We have all kinds of activities. And then, as Karen was mentioning, we're starting in our invasive plant removal days. One coming up, and then one in January. And that's part of our Native Plants Initiative. And then, yeah, come visit the zoo. I will tell you that we got these 2 minis, the mama and daughter down here just a few months ago. They're totally sweet miniature horses. Our raccoons are incredibly popular, raccoons of all things. They're super popular. We have 2 of them. They have a genetic disorder, so they're a little off. And they're so adorable. And they get so much attention. They're in our barnyard area. The kids absolutely love them. I think they're adorable. They do the craziest things. They are special needs raccoons. But they're super sweet. And again, they were a rescue. We do that. We often have rescued animals in our zoo as part of what we do, but they're really sweet. There Anyway, so that's our zoo. And if you have any questions or if you want to reach me afterwards with other questions about the projects we're doing, the fundraising we're doing, happy to get in touch with you. Thank you.
A lot of fun. They had animals that you could go and pretty much get really up close and personal. And so it was just really fun to have access to that. So.
I also want to say that I don't talk enough about our zoo staff, but our zookeepers are really amazing folks. They don't get paid a lot to do what they do, and they love these animals. As some of you probably know, we lost Jolene, who was our longtime given. It was heartbreaking for our staff, really heartbreaking for me to watch it. So I can't say enough about our zookeepers and our zoo staff and how dedicated they are to that institution. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Thank you, Lee, for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
On behalf of Rotary Club Arcata Sunrise, we did make a donation to the Wheelchair Foundation.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you. That's amazing. Thank you.
And then this is
oh, my gosh. Okay. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. Before I get to the raffle, any last announcements?
This is your knife, see me.
Backpack for Kids. I want to thank Mike for volunteering yesterday. He's our new induction, and he volunteered to pick up all the food yesterday. And when I walked in this morning, he has the bags almost all packed. It's like, wow. So. We have the
I'm
3 schools
delivering,
to
I
deliver.
Yep.
You're delivering to Trillium and to Pacific Union.
Right, I can
Any-
deliver to all 3.
You sure?
If somebody tells me where to go. I haven't been to Arcade in a while, I've been to Arcade School in a while, so I'll talk to you.
Is anybody else that can maybe do, you want to do Arcade?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And then one more thing, in reference to Taste the Holidays that I completely forgot. Romy had put together this little blurb about selling your tickets, and I sent it to Howard, and Howard sent it out to all of you. It's a way to get your tickets sold. You send it, you just have to copy and paste it, and send a copy of the flyer, and send it out to all your friends and family, and you get those tickets sold. Just
I
like
did.
that.
I set it up and I sold all 10 within an hour. Do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Send it to everybody you know on your email list. There's a little edit to it though. Delete the live entertainment part.
well, I know, I think you're gonna go and dance or something.
Okay, don't delete it. I got it.
Oh, and don't send it to your Rotary.
Yeah, delete your Rotary friends.
I'll buy from you.
Thanks, Lisa.
I'll buy your tickets.
The vocational committee again is recruiting or accepting applications for our vocational award. So you guys might remember that from a while ago, but just looking for another nomination for committee members who reflect Rotarian values. And yeah, so if you guys should have gotten an email last night, so please turn those in to me, Vanessa, who else? Probably me and Vanessa.
Thanks, Crystal. Any last announcements?
Rural Community Services is meeting probably briefly, right after this meeting, meet over here.
Thanks, Maggie.
Rural Community Services.
Our guest brought our first ticket. All right, we have, hey Jessica, will you look at my ticket?
Yes.
290, 7290 is the last four.
Oh, Jesus, that's Amanda.
You're next in line.
I got $5.
We're both playing.
All right, yes.
If it's 291, I'm gonna.
We're gonna suspect you. 7305. That's not me.
Is it? Oh, you're fine.
That's me.
Oh, is it more?
Other.